People's Newscast, and tonight we want to welcome in, I should say, Art Oligeri as well as Paul Vojtek from the Millcreek Government Study Commission. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Paul, I will start with you as the chairman. A couple months into the process here, what can you report to us tonight?
Well, I would say that we hit the ground running. As we talked earlier, that's a very short time span that we have. We have a really good team. 7 commissioners. We have 5 alternates that are there in case anybody needed to drop out, which actually came into play. And I think between doing interviews with some of the other communities, interviews with the folks here in Millcreek, I think things are going in a very positive direction right now.
Art, why is it so important for this group to come together and be able to study the current form of government in Millcreek?
The truth is, Millcreek is the only government in Pennsylvania that is using the form of government that we have used since the 1800s, when the population of Millcreek was probably 272 people. Everybody else, all the other townships, particularly like-sized townships of Millcreek, are using different forms of government. So we want to find out why. We want to study their governments. Why is everybody else doing something different than we are? We're looking at their operations, and we've interviewed managers and we've interviewed supervisors to find out what they're doing that we're not doing and why they're doing it.
Talk to us a little bit, Art, about that, going to the different townships, talking to different people. What are they telling you when you're there?
We've interviewed actually 7 different townships. Some of them we were in person, some of them it was virtual, and they all have a slightly different story. But in many ways, they have the same story. One of the big things that stands out is in all the other townships, the legislative function and the executive function are separate. And that provides checks and balances, which we think is very, very important. And over the last 3 decades, the townships that have changed governments have all changed to a certain type of manager-council form of government. And we're trying to determine why. Is it a good fit for Millcreek? Or I should say, what is the best fit for Millcreek? So we're studying each one of these optional forms of government and how they might relate to the Millcreek situation.
Paul, you kind of touched on it earlier there, but has it been challenging for you guys? Because you have such a short time frame to be able to get the results of the findings into the people of Millcreek.
Yeah. And I think people have been very responsive, been very helpful. Yeah. As Art said, they've talked to 7 different communities. We're on the ballot that was approved by the voters back in November. We had 4 different options, along with the current form of government. One of the things we're also looking at, we interviewed the Millcreek supervisors, is what we have now better than what we can change to? So we really have 5 options we're looking at: status quo or one of the other 4. And I think the cooperation we've found from other communities, many who've changed governments, forms of government over the years, has really provided us with a good basis moving forward and what we're looking at what might be the best fit for Millcreek.
Just finally, Paul, what do you think is the most important thing for Millcreek taxpayers who are seeing this to know about the commission?
I would say that we're doing it. We were voted for a reason to perform a service for the people and businesses of Millcreek Township, and that we're going to give it our best and our all, and we're doing it with their best interest at heart. Whatever we come up with after the study's completed, it will be after a thorough examination, and it'll be with the best interest in heart. And we plan to do all we can to make sure we have an informed options for the people when they come to the polls in November.
Next meeting is, Art?
The next meeting is April 14th. All Millcreek residents are invited.
Open to the public.
It's open to the public. They can come. There's time for public comment. It's their government. It's Millcreek's government, and we want Millcreek voters to be informed voters, and we want them to be aware of what's going on.
Art Oligeri, Paul Vojtek, thank you, gentlemen.
One last thing before we go. YouTube, you can also watch the meetings virtually on YouTube.
You can watch on YouTube. Thanks, gentlemen. We appreciate it.